Final Fantasy XIV Online is a beloved entry in a long-running franchise. With over 10 years of content and hundreds of hours of story to get through, it can be hard for even the most well-seasoned veterans of the game to remember what's happened. But what if you've never played the game at all? And what if, you're talking to your friend on the street, they come up to you and they go, hey, what about that Final Fantasy XIV? You don't want to look like an idiot. Well, today, I'm here to help you with that by giving you an abridged, complete version of the first story in Final Fantasy XIV Online. Our adventure begins after you pick your race and your class, and then you get to choose one of 3 starting cities. There's the Forest Land of Gridania, the Pirate Temple of Limsolominsa, and the Jeweled City of Ul'dah. So you start in one of these cities and you join the Adventurers Guild and you just, you do quests, kill 8 of this, collect 10 of these, whatever. And eventually, people know who you are. And then you're approached by a secret organization. They hit you with the, I'm putting together a team. He's like, yeah, it's like the Sam Jackson, the Ben Affleck, the Avengers. So they're called the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and they're dedicated to protecting the world from its existential threats. There's an invasion by an imperial force. There's people summoning deities in this world that could cause a bunch of destruction, and they exist to put a stop to that. And so they ask you to join because you have this special mind power where you can it's like That's So Raven but backwards. You see something and then you see the past of it and it tells you why it happened. But that power, the Echo, it's called. This is just a small note. I need to put this way in the back of the section, so I'm going to include it here. So the Echo is given to you by this big crystal in the sky or something. You kind of just teleport to it and it talks to you. Her name is Hydaelyn, aka Big Crystal Mommy. Makes you immune to the primals, because the primals are these deities that they're like gods, and the little the beast tribes summon them. There's lizard men and rat men and fish men, and there's Moogles. So they summon these deities that they worship, and then the deities use a process called tempering to basically enslave everyone around them so that they're always worshiping that deity. So even if the deity's defeated before it can wreck up the land or whatever, they'll just try summoning it again. And the power of the Echo makes you immune to that process, which is why the Scions of the Seventh Dawn hire you. And they're like, we need you to help us fight this evil. And you go, okay. So you go out and you start fighting them. You go to the lizard men, the Amalja, and they summon their primal big lizard man, and you beat them up, and then you're like, yeah, I saved da 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 da, and then it zooms out. In the background you see this dude with some drip on, and he's like, and so you're like, okay, well, I don't know what that means. So you move on and you keep fighting, and then you go and you're like, I'm gonna kill this other primal, and you go and fight Titan, and he's like a big stone man, and you beat him. And then over here you see a different guy, and then another guy in a robe is over here too, and they're watching, and they're like, all according to plan. And you're like, okay, I don't know what that means, but sure, thanks. So after you defeat Titan, these mysterious entities put their plan into action, and the Imperial Legion, those are the guys with the cool looking armor, they come into the Scions base and they kill everyone and they capture all your friends, and they're like, ha ha ha, we've defeated the Scions. So you and your little boy Alpha now, he's a cute small little guy, you escape, and then you find this Imperial defector named Sid, and he's like, I'm gonna help you fight the Empire because they're evil. So you go and you have to get his airship, so you help a bunch of French guys with their dragon problem, and then you get his airship back, and there's another rogue guy there, and he goes, ha ha ha, this is all part of my plan. It's definitely not, but he just keeps saying it. So you get the airship, and then you're like, we're gonna fight the next primal. It's a big winged lady, okay? And that's why you need the airship. You gotta fly in there. So you get the airship, you fly in there, and you beat her, and she's like, I don't think so. And she summons the other two, the lizard and stone man, come back, and you're like, oh my gosh. And this is when the Imperials show up with their leader, Gaius, and he's like, I'm gonna capture you and then he drops this giant like mecha centaur, and it like vores the primals, and that's bad. So you run away from this as fast as possible because you can't beat this new thing. And he's like, the Ultima weapon, that's what it's called, by the way. The Ultima weapon is complete and I can conquer the land finally. And you're like, oh no, this is really bad. And at the same time, you find out where your friends are being held by the Imperials and you go, we gotta break them out. So you organize your whole Mission Impossible, heist, you know. And you break your friends out and you're like, yes, we've done it. We can take the fight to the Empire. And as you're flying away, the robed guy comes out. His name's La Habrea, by the way. And he comes out and he's like, ha ha ha, you thought you beat me? And then he pulls off his hood and he reveals he was Thancred the whole time. Oh, I didn't explain who Thancred was. He's a guy, he was a scion, and La Habrea ate his, no. So he was a guy, and then La Habrea is inhabiting his body. So like Thancred wasn't evil, but the La Habrea is like a soul. Like the Ascians are like souls, and they can, you know, possess people. So that's what's happening. So everyone's like, no, Thancred, no, and then you like fly away as he's like, ha 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 at you. So, now that you've saved the Scions and you're all back together, you go and you arrange a meeting with the Gridania and Limsa, Lominsa, and Ulda, and you go, guys, we have to work together to defeat the Empire, and they go, we agree. So you band together all the armies of these 3 lands, and you go and you attack the Imperials, and you fight your way through, and Livia Sanjunius is there, and she's like, you won't stop me, and bam! And then Nero's there, and he's like, doosh, woo. You know, and then bam, and he's gone too. And then Gaius is there, and he's like, you're gonna love this. You know, and he goes Super Saiyan, bam, and you take him out too. But none of it matters, because Gaius still manages to get inside the Ultima weapon. He goes, ha ha ha, I've got the ultimate power. It's all charged up and we're ready to take you down. And then, and Hydaelyn talks to you, and she goes, oh, warrior of light, use my power. And so you do, you beat up, you know, you beat him up, or you cast spells or whatever, sword, and you break the primals out of the Ultima weapon, one by one. And he goes, no, you're destroying my power, how could this happen? I can't believe I'm losing. And this is when La Habrea, Thancred Brea shows up, and he goes, there's a secret weapon inside this thing. And Gaius is like, what? We didn't talk about this. And Thancred goes, actually, this was my plan the whole time. The Ultima weapon's called that because it has the move Ultima. It's a big spell that's going to blow up the world. And Gaius is like, well, I don't want to blow up the world. I want to conquer it. I don't want it to be gone. And Thancred's like, too bad. I'm going to blow it up. So he uses it, the Ultima. He's like, boom, it's a big explosion. And Hydaelyn uses the last of her powers to shield you. And then like her light power breaks. And Gaius is like, such devastation. This was not my intention. And then you finish beating him up. You blow up the Ultima weapon. And then La Habrea is like, ha, but you didn't beat me. So you beat him too. And you slash him with a light sword, and it cuts his soul out of Thancred's body, and then you and Thancred escape, and the whole place blows up, and you save the day. So there is an insane amount of stuff that got left out of this. I mean, it's just like, it's mind-boggling how dense this is, and I tried to get it as packed down as tightly as possible, but it's just so difficult. So I'm sorry if your favorite part got left out. If you're a Final Fantasy XIV fan and you watch this video and you hate it, me too.